Hey guys, before we get into the video, I just wanted to point out that 99.2% of all the viewers are not subscribed. So if you do enjoy the content, please consider subscribing, hitting the thumbs up button. It really helps out the channel a lot. Gives me a lot of information, analytical stuff like that. So, I'm becoming a lot more Lost Ark content. So that's going to be kind of the main focus of the channel for the foreseen future. That's what I'm going to be maining and planning a lot. Also, if you are interested in watching me live, check out my Twitch. It's twitch.tv/nitro. I'm there live a lot of days throughout the week. And then without further ado, let's check out some more Lost Ark stuff. Let's see what Stoopzz has to say about gearing.
All right, what's going on, everyone?
Okay.
Welcome to my engraving/gearing guide.
Ooh, engraving. This is something I need to know a little bit more about.
All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to my engraving/gearing guide for Lost Ark. A lot of you guys have been
Look at this
asking
transmog
on my stream like crazy to cover
Yo, I want
engravings, how do accessories work, how do ability stones work, what is all of this stuff on my screen, and how do I tell what stats are right for my class. In this video, I will cover all of that stuff for those of you that are new and looking to hop into the game, especially when progressing through tier 1 content. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a much better idea of how the gearing system works overall. Now, fortunately, we do have a sponsor for today's video, so we'll hop into that, and I'll see you right back here at the video. This video is sponsored by HelloFresh.
Oh, no way. My buddy sent me a link to this, and I think I'm gonna do it soon.
Valentine's Day coming up, you can skip the crowded, overpriced restaurants by enjoying a 3-course meal with your
Here, I made you some Kraft macaroni and cheese for Valentine's Day.
Unless you're like me,
and I put some ketchup in it to make it red.
Don't have a significant other. Maybe me and you can share a dinner. My birthday is on the 15th after all. Jokes aside, I was happy to partner with HelloFresh because I'm constantly
is it a February birthday too?
Or working on a video, and if I'm being honest, this leaves me little energy or time to prepare my dinner. Sometimes I don't make it to the grocery store, and I'll just end up eating out, which really isn't good for my health or my wallet. HelloFresh offers a wide variety of quick and easy recipes that allow me to maintain control over my food choices. And
I mostly want to do it because I have no idea how to cook.
My local grocery store. Right now, use my link or go to HelloFresh.com and use PogStoop16 for up to
PogStoop, that's such a cool code.
And 3 surprise gifts across 6 HelloFresh boxes.
What other code in the HelloFresh database has Pog in it?
Premium recipes.
Fucking none.
Giving HelloFresh a try. Check the link in the description for more information, and a big thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Alright, so when it comes to gearing in Lost Ark, it's actually
oh my god, look at his Chad character, that's great.
Look, or you may think. You have 2 sides to your character. You have the left side of your character where you have your actual equipment or armor, your helmet, your shoulders, your chest piece, your leggings, your gloves, your weapon. These are items that you're going to earn from various aspects in the game. You have your chaos dungeons that you'll be doing early.
That radius is huge.
Your void dungeons or your abyss dungeons, depending on the region that you've played on so far. And then you also have your raiding content, your abyss raids and your legion raids. When you start off the game early on, you're going to be doing chaos dungeons, which are essentially your rift style Diablo content that you've seen a lot of players do in various videos. And you're going to get a starter set of gear through doing that. These blue items that you acquire. That's going to hold you over until you end up crafting your own gear throughout various vendors in the game from doing those dungeons, those end game dungeons that are different than chaos dungeons and your legion raids. You don't have to know all these terms, just know that you end up crafting your end game gear set.
So you craft your gear.
So there is no RNG in a
and then you probably want to use those currencies to upgrade the eye level of these gears.
Acquiring these, there are different sets that offer different set bonuses.
Oh, they got tier sets in this game. Yo,
accessories, which are separate, and you'll acquire them through different means. You will not craft these. You will find them, loot them, or get them. And
he's decked out. It's all orange.
The left side of your character, your actual equipment, will determine your overall item level. You will go to this honing vendor. I believe that's what it will be called on NA, and you upgrade your gear similar to what you've seen in other games. However, you do not diminish or downgrade your gear if you fail the upgrade. Nothing happens. You just waste your mats and you continue to upgrade your gear over time. If you fail enough times, you get an automatic 100% upgrade if you fail. That's a pity system built into the game. And
that's pretty cool.
You progress the left side of your character, and that's really all you need to know.
That pity, I mean, Lost Ark.
I'll do a more in-depth video as you reach tier 3 content. On the right side again, you have your accessories. And on these accessories, you'll see 3 things. You will see secondary stats like crit, agility, stats that you've seen in other MMOs demos before, you will see something at the top called grade or quality. That will be a number. Some items will be lower in quality or grade. Some items will be higher in quality and grade. Essentially what grade or quality means is it determines how much of the secondary stat you will receive. So you have 200 max secondary stat on rings, 300 on earrings, and 500 on your neck piece, meaning that the grade or quality on your rings rather are not as important as your earrings and your neck piece, right?
Okay.
You only get 200 agility max on earrings, so getting 190 isn't that big of a deal at 75 grade or quality. When you look at your earrings, though, you can get.
Is it 100 on that one?
More about it there, and then you have your neck piece. However, early on, you care about none of that. Early on, especially when you first get into the game in the first tier, tier 1, which you will be in for about a week or two until you get to tier 2, and then that will be 2 to 3 weeks. You'll probably be in there, 4 weeks if you're a newer player, maybe, and then tier 3 comes out, and then in
the way I'm going, it's gonna be freaking a month.
Quality or grade. We'll touch more on that later. So again, you have secondary stats. That's on the gear. You can see crit. You have your grade, and then you have something called engraving effects. Now, I will have a video listed down below that does cover engravings in maybe a more in-depth fashion if this is a little bit more confusing to you, but I will cover it in today's video.
He missed that
so
meteor.
Unequip all of my accessories, and you can see that I have we'll undo these as well, and you can see that I have no engraving effects. The way that you want to understand engraving effects is that it's a similar system to corruption, but a much better system than corruption if you've ever played Battle for Azeroth. I
didn't really play BFA that much.
PBGBs, but that's the best way.
But I know corruption was like
anything that I played previously.
Controversial.
Okay, so we're gonna look at our earrings. If you look at this piece of equipment, again, we have our secondary stats. At the top, we have strength, vitality. Again, that's just by default. Don't worry about that. You're looking at the secondary additional stats, and then underneath that, we have the engraving effects. Plus 5 grudge, plus 3 sharp blunt.
Oh, that's from stones. That's from stones, I think.
Yellow text are positive effects, and the bottom effect, the red effect, is a negative effect. When I equip this, you can see that I've gained plus 5 points into grudge or level 1. You can see I have summon sharp blunt, but it's not at level 1 yet, and I have summon slowness, but it's not at level 1 yet. In order to get the benefit of any of these effects, you need at least 5 points to get level 1, 10 points to reach level 2, and 15 points to reach level 3, and it's a cascading effect. Obviously, the more and deeper you go into the engraving effect, the stronger it gets. So it's important to note that by just having 2 points in slowness, again, if you look at it, 5, 3, and 2, by just having 2 points in slowness, I do not receive the negative effect. You have to reach level 1 or 5 points, 10 points, or 15 points. Hopefully, you're following me here. So when you're looking at all these things, you're probably wondering which one's most important. Early
Seriously,
on, the
man.
most important thing that you care about is secondary stats. So you're going to prioritize secondary stats, then you're going to prioritize engravings, and then down the road, you'll prioritize.
It's a little complicated, but then again, I'm doing the homework right now, and it's getting a little easier to understand it. But for people who don't do this and they just like get to end game
or polish, or
it's gonna be tough.
The number you see at the top, that's the last thing you will prioritize. But first, worry about your stats.
It's like Path of Exile. You just gotta go to class for a little bit.
You'll worry about all of them.
Listen to a few lectures.
Okay, but just keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that when you do make a set of accessories, if all of your accessories have the correct stats, but maybe one is off, but it will give you this engraving effect and it will help you out, that's fine as well. With that being understood, let's dive more into engravings. So as we mentioned earlier, you're going to acquire your gear set, and it's pretty easy to do, and it's very deterministic. As you do dungeons and raids, you will then acquire these mats and craft your own set gear. However, when we look at our accessories, again, you will earn them through chaos dungeons, you will earn them through guardian raids, but more than anything, you will earn them by buying them from other players. When you do that type of content,
that's gonna be expensive.
Accessories will drop, and more than likely an accessory will drop that might be worth something to somebody else, but not for your class.
Okay.
You're gonna post your accessories on the auction house.
18,000 gold.
End up buying accessories for you that are beneficial. So you're gonna sell the ones that you gather and then save your gold, and oftentimes look for an accessory that's beneficial for you. However, early on in the game, you will not be using the market. You'll take what you can get, and how it will work is you'll create a build or find a build, and I'll talk more about how you can find a build later, and you're going to try to craft an engraving set, keeping in mind that
I'm going for the Lone Knight one on the Gun Lancer. It looks crazy damage. Like the damage is crazy for Gun Lancer. I thought Gun Lancer was a tank, but No. We get DPS.
It's possible. So with our accessories, the first thing that you'll do is
we're going
actually
DPS.
look for engraving effects, not in your accessories, but through seal books. And these are books that you will acquire.
Oh, I got these. Yeah. I got these.
Later, or maybe the video.
You get them leveling up. I need 2 more to get my set.
And earn seal books by playing the game. Okay. In seal books, what they actually do is they store in your engraving knowledge tome thing here, and all of your characters have access to this. Okay. So whenever you read a book, all of your characters have access to this.
That's
feature,
sweet.
Meaning that it's
if it was separate, that would suck.
We'll talk more about what that means in a second. This will show you all of the possible engraving effects that exist in the game. And on the second tab here, these are all of the possible engraving effects that exist for your class. So let's say we're going for a Madness build and we want to build Madness Berserker because it's a very popular build that's extremely strong. The first thing that you'll do early on in the game is you'll try to gather as many books as possible. And again, you'll earn them through doing
this build just looks like it's riddled with anxiety. Look at his health. You can only, I think the max HP you can have is like 20%. You get a damage reduction buff, but it's just still like, that's got to be kind of scary.
Quests. There are 4 different types of
at least in
books
rating
you can acquire. There are green engraving books, there are blue engraving books, there are purple engraving books, and then later on in tier 3 there are legendary engraving books. Now when you read a book, you need to read 20 to store it in that page that I showed you earlier. You need to read 20 green books, and what that will do is it will give you the engraving effect. Follow me along here. It will give you the engraving effect, and it will give you 3 points of it. I'll explain what that means in a second. If you read 20 of the blue books right here, you will get 6 points. If you then go on to read 20 of the purple books, you'll get 9 points, and if you read 20 of the legendary books, you will get 12 points. Essentially, think of this as like enchanting. You're reading this knowledge or this manual, and if you read 20 of each color, you go 3, 6, 9.
So I will have almost 20 of the green ones done. I need 2 more, and then I'll only have 3 points, so I don't even have the buffs it gives.
12, giving
that
you
sucks.
those points. And what that means
Let's
is
get more
you
then.
have these 2 slots here, right? And this is the first way that you'll start to work on your engravings. The first thing you'll look for is these books, the seal knowledge, and you will seal or enchant yourself with these engravings. So if I wanted Madness, again, I've read 20 of the green, then I read 20 of the blue, then I read 20 of the purple, and then I went to read 20 of the legendary. Okay, and that's going to give me those 12 points that we talked about. And now I can seal that and drag it here, and you can see that I gained 12 points of Madness, right? And that gives me up to level 2. Remember, 5 points at level 1, 5 points at level 2.
So then you only need like 1 or 2 stones.
But I need to fill it all out to get this to glow and to get the benefit. So that means I need an accessory that gives me +3 Madness, right? If I put these earrings on, I now get level 3 Madness. Easy enough, right? By the way, this is the most confusing system in Lost Ark, so don't feel, oh my gosh, I don't understand it yet. It'll make more sense to you when you're actively playing the game. But if you're just
not that bad,
and you're following along so far, you're doing good.
If this is the most confusing, that's not that bad.
I just equipped earlier also had 5 grudge on them, so now I've earned the grudge effect as well. And remember, I haven't earned any of the negative effects, but you can seal 2 of them. So early on in the game, you're not.
I had a different engraving, and I had 20 green, and I read it just so I could have 1 engraving just for the buffs, right? Even though it's not that good. And I was wondering why I didn't get the buff, because I had the thing in my gear at the bottom left there, but it's because I guess I only got 3 points. That makes sense now. I haven't even looked at the engraving UI part in the profile menu. Yeah, I have to check that out.
Have these legendary books. You're probably going to have at best blue books. Maybe you've read some green books. And what you'll do is you can double seal, right? So I can take this, maybe I've read 20 of the green and 20 of the blue, giving me those 6 points. I can actually double seal, drag them in the slot, and now I have 12 points. Right?
Oh, no way. That's so cool.
12, and all I would need to do is get those last 3. So that's how it's going to work. You're going to get your books first and seal, and then what you'll look for is...
These are so expensive. The one I need, the Lone Knight green one right now, is 50 gold. That's a lot. At least for me right now, it's a lot of gold.
Called an engraving stone.
So I might actually try to sell some. I gotta get better at the auction house. The auction house UI is kind of weird.
Engraving stone is
I got used to it.
Learn about by doing a quest in the game. As you do your progression at end game, you'll get these stones from doing a quest, and it will ask you to cut a stone. And welcome to RNG City with this system.
Yeah, really I learned this yesterday. It's kind of shitty,
but it's also really tilting. So you'll get this little screen right here, and essentially what you're trying to do and what you have to do is you have to make your way across all of these, and it's no different than an accessory, right? These have no stats on them, by the way. You'll loot a stone from doing a chaos dungeon or a guardian raid, and it will show you guillotine, barricade, peacefulness. This is a stone that has those engraving effects on it. and you have 75% here to, if I tap it here,
Quick maths.
This is where the RNG starts. I have another 75% chance to get an effect here.
Get wrecked.
Again, 65%. Every time you succeed, you go down for 10%. Every time you fail, you gain 10%, with the max being 75. Okay, it's okay if you're confused, or just watch the screen. So now I've got 55%. I hit. Now I get 45%. I'm gonna go down here because I actually want to fail this. I don't want to succeed in this row, and I want to succeed in these roads, right? I don't want negative effects. So 55, I'll go here for funsies. I passed. 45, I failed. Then
this is a good roll so far.
65, I'll bring it here just for science. 75, I'll do it here. This is bad stone already, right? We'll just do this for science. So I'll fill these out now. So I've got 5, 6, and 4. And if I add that stone, if I equip it, right, 5, it's very simple. Plus 5 guillotine, plus 6 barricade, plus 4 peacefulness. If I equip the stone and it's right there, I get those effects and I don't get the negative effect, right? So when you combine your
so you can have a lot of these engravings.
Your seal,
you can have a lot of different engravings then. Can you enchant your stones with all this right side stuff? So you can have like what? Like 6 or 7 stones
here, and I equip all of these accessories, right? That's how you
look at that.
Build like this.
That's damn, he's gonna be doing damage.
The stone, getting a really good stone is important, but
and yes, his endgame build for sure. He's decked out right now. Just look at him. Look at his character. Even if he was wearing blues, he's decked out in swag.
In tripods, but you won't experience those until tier 2 and tier 3 content.
Okay, so tripods tier 2 and 3 only. Okay, that's good to know.
Take you a couple of weeks, and I don't recommend learning about it now. It's going to overwhelm you. But if you can understand this, the left side being your actual
tripods weren't that bad.
The quality thing that you see here is the exact same as I mentioned earlier.
I think the tripods were easier than the engravings.
That determines your item level, and then your accessories that you will get through various aspects of the game. And that's responsible for your critical strike, your agility, and all your secondary stats and your engravings. If you are overwhelmed by any of this, do not panic. Do not worry. It didn't make sense to me until I actually played the game, and like a lot of things in life, watching a video on it prior before you actually see it.
Yeah, it's only making sense to me right now is because I discovered all this stuff yesterday. Once I got to the main city, I literally spent like an hour and a half just doing all those like side quests and just taking my time and just like, and it's very confusing at first, but I missed a lot of the UI stuff. But now after watching these videos, it's starting to all come together, so it just takes some time.
In person can oftentimes feel overwhelming or confusing, but just know that it will make a lot more sense when you're actually playing the game, like all things in life. But if you can understand the gist of what I'm saying, it will help you a lot when you're jumping into the game, and it won't be as foreign to you. Now, if you're wondering where should I learn about builds and how
I can't wait to raid, man. I can't wait to raid.
Engravings I want. There's a fantastic website, maxroll.gg, that just picked up Lost Ark, and it has a lot of reliable
this website is what I've been using for leveling guide. And this is what I use in Diablo 3 too. They have really good guides here.
I'll have it linked below. But for example, you can go to their build guides and look for a Madness or Mayhem Berserker raid guide. And it will tell you your build, your ability layout.
It's cool because before even I paid my class, I wanted to check out what my raid guides are, what the raid builds are for my character. Because that's what kind of your engravings revolve around, right? And then if that gameplay build sounded fun, I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. And then, and some classes only have one optimal raid build, and like I think one of the gunners does. I was like, this doesn't sound too fun, and I want to play a character that's like 2 builds, so I can like switch and then try them both out. So definitely check that website out. It's really informative.
Don't worry about that yet. And it will also give you engravings that we just touched on, which ones you want to go for. And it will also give you a stat breakdown as well. It gives you all of the information here, very easy to digest. And I highly recommend the website for those of you that are looking for information on your class. And no, I am not affiliated with the website. It's just one that I think is pretty useful for new players. And that's it, you guys. Hopefully that video was easy to understand or somewhat digestible. I'll have all the links for all the stuff that I mentioned listed down below in the description. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, you can check out my live stream somewhere here on the screen. And
that was a good video.
Willing to answer them. Thank you all so much, and I will
it's all coming together, guys.